So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you are doing extremely well, and this is your very own mass code at this side. So in this video, we are going to discuss the lead code question number 6, zigzag conversion. So the question states that you have been given a string s as your input with some particular number of rows. In this case, the number of rows has been given to you as 4, and the string s has been given to you as pal is hiring. Right? The questions demand you to put this string in the diagonal form. In the diagonal form, how diagonal form? So you have been given four number of rows. That is row number 1, row number 2, row number 3, row number 4. You have been given four number of rows. You start from the topmost row and start putting on this number. That is, it will be looking something like this: pay pal, and as you reach the end, you will start traversing upwards. Pay pal is high ring. Similar to this structure, right? Similar to this structure. This is just more spacious and more convenient to look out. Let me extend the lines, right? So these are your particular rows, and now the questions demand you to give the output in the same manner. That is, the first row is pin, so it will be pin concatenated with the second row, that is a l s I g, concatenated with the third row, that is y a h r, and the last row is p I. This is your answer with no spaces, right? With no spaces. Okay, you have to give me this string. Now, talking about the approaches, so the first brute force approach that appears to my mind is, you have been given suppose k number of rows, right? 1 2 3 etc etc, k number of rows. Create a k matrix, create a k matrix, as in create a data structure that holds k vectors. Create a data structure that holds k vectors. K vectors as in vector 1, vector 2, vector 3, vector 4, vector 5, etc., etc., and start traversing. That is, go from here, then here, then here, then here, up till here, then go start traversing upward and put those vectors in, put those values in the respective vectors. That is, the vectors will look something like p a y p a l I s h I r I n g, right? And then concatenate all the strings in the vectors and concatenate all the strings together also, right? This is my approach. First, you can, instead of creating a vector, you can also create a string and then add pin, then alsg, etc., etc., right? So that approach is particularly fine. I have no problem with this problem, but it carries some space because you are using k strings. You are using k strings. So actually you are using n extra space. If the string length is n, you are actually using n extra space, right? So it will be a space complexity of O of n. The time complexity is actually O of n, right? Time complexity is not an issue here. The main issue is the space complexity. Is there some way I can reduce the space complexity? Yes, there is a way. If I try to find out, everything is possible, right? Okay, let me write down the sequence once again. So it is P A Y P A L I S H I R I N G. Now, if I look at these quite carefully, I will mark the indexes. So it will be 0 index, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No problem up till that. Okay. Now I'll say, let me make let me clear out the first row. Let me have all the letters in the first row. See, this is actually a type of pattern question. I was already discussed how to get all the patterns in the one shot video. You can actually visualize something as patterns. So what is happening here? In the first row, you can see there is a jump of 0, then I am getting 6, then I'm getting 12. In the second row, you can see I'm getting first, then 5, then 7, then 11, then 13. In the third row, I'm getting 2, then 4, then 8, then 10. In the last row, I'm getting 3, then 9. Right? These are my rows. I'm having the indexes. You can see 0, then 6, then 12, 1, 5, 7, 11, 13, etc., etc., so on and so forth. How is the jump happening? The question is, how is the index jump happening? Index jump happening. That is my question to you. Okay. Okay, so if I look at the question closely, I am saying my first position is occurred because at the index 0. Okay. The second position is occurred at the index 6. How is this gap coming? How is the gap of 5 coming? How can I get the gap of 5? Sorry, how is the gap of 6 coming? Sorry, 6 minus 0 is 6. How is the gap of 6 coming? Can I collectively, intuitively get the gap of 6? So it is possible. How? So you can see in the first row from the P, I am going downwards. After I reach downwards, I'm going upwards. So what is happening is, if these are k number of rows, these are k number of rows. First row is for my letter which I am taking. Second, third, fourth. This is, if these are total number of k rows, 1, 2, 3. These are k minus 1 elements. These are k minus 1 elements that I have to surpass for the next iterations, right? K minus 1 elements. And while going up, 1, 2, and then again third, that is k minus 1 elements again, that is 2k minus 2 elements in total. That is, I will have to surpass 2k minus 2 elements to reach 6. So if I'm standing at 0, I will have to add 2k minus 2 to reach 6. And what is my k here? My k is 4 here, as mentioned, because of 4 number of rows. So 2k minus 2 is 8 minus 2, that is 6. And you can actually see that 0 plus 6 is actually 6, right? But is it true for 6 to 12? You can see actually yes. If I add 6 plus 6, it will give me 12. So we are getting intuitively at some point, right? If I add 0, this 6, I will reach here. And if I add 6 to this 6, I will add 12. Okay. Now, moving at the second row, you can see we have collectively get the intuition for the first row. Now moving at the second row. Now you can see the differences in the subsequent elements in the second row are not similar. Here it is 4, here it is 2, here it is 4 again, here it is 2 again. So you can see 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2. A series is forming, first 4 then 2, first 4 then 2. If we are able to solve how is this 4 coming and how is this 2 coming, we can get the answer. Now how to get that answer? Now we have to check how is 4 coming and how is 2 coming. So in the second row, I'm standing here at index 1. I will have to reach here. Now in the first iteration, that is from A to L, you can actually see I'm going downwards, then upwards. I'm going downwards, then upwards. So if I'm standing at the ith row, right, I'm standing at the ith row, I want to go here. That means I will have to pass, suppose this is my row 2, I will have to pass 1, 2, that is k minus 2 here, and k minus 2 here. That is, my difference is now k minus 2k minus 4, right? Now 2k minus 4 will give me 5. 1 plus 2k minus 4 will give me 5. You can check it out mathematically. But 5 plus 2k minus 4 will not give me 7. Why is that happening? Because the path is changed. In the case of the first row, the path was actually same for all the iterations. That is, it was similar path for this also, for this also. But in case of in case of the second row, the path is actually changing after each iteration. That is, first it is this. Now, for L to S, the path is this. That is, first going up, then going down. So the number of iterations are changing. The number of skipping characters are changing. How can I calculate them? So you can see, if I'm standing at this row, how much characters are left upwards. If this is my second row, I am leaving one character upwards, right? And one character here to go there. So that is 2. So I can actually see in the first case, my difference was 2k minus 2. In the second case, my difference is 2k minus 4 and 2. I am saying and 2, right? I have to go about them alternatively. I have to go about them alternatively. In the third example, you can see what is my 2k minus 2 actually? 6. 2k minus 4 is 4. 4 and 2 actually, right? In the third, you can see 2, then 4, then 2, right? So if I try to go 2k minus 2, then 2k minus 4, if I try to form an AP, because this is evidently an AP, because the number of steps are actually dropping by 2 if I move downwards in the another row. So you can see, because this hole is being left out, right? This hole is being left out because I'm reaching down 2. 2k minus 2, it should become 2k minus 6 and 4. So if I solve 2k minus 6, it will actually become 2 into 4 minus 6, that is 8 minus 6, that is 2. So you can see the difference of 2 here, and you can see the difference of 4 here, which I just formed out with AP. AP means arithmetic progression. Hope you're clear with that. Arithmetic progression, right? How did I went to the concept of AP? Because I'm saying that from moving to P, like P was actually using 6 iterations, right? Now A In the case of A, my actually traversing has gone down by 2 because I don't have to traverse these nodes. I will just move my arrows from here to here, right? From this position to this position, right? My two nodes are getting out of the way. So it is decreasing by 2 steps. And the case of the upward, this is increasing by 2 steps because of the increasing number of nodes upwards, right? Okay. In the last, it is actually 2k minus 8 and 6. Now 2k minus 8 is actually evidently 0. So as in case of first, it will only remain 6. That is, I have to add 6 here, I have to add 6 here, and in the case of in the between, I will have to use the DP. I will have to use the AP, sorry, not DP, AP, right? So let me write down the pseudocode, and then we will discuss how we are actually getting at the results. So here I have written the pseudocode for all of you, right? So what I'm doing is my first difference is 2k minus 2, where k is the number of rows. Okay, so my first difference is difference number 1, which I'm taking for this direction. Okay, difference number 1 becomes 2k minus 2. What is k here? K is 4, so it actually becomes 6, and difference 2 is 0. Difference 2 is 0. Now difference 2 is for these iterations, right? Okay. So as I discussed, my first and the second row, first and the last rows are actually exception because they are using one difference only. But the between rows, that is these two rows, are actually using the same pattern of the AP. So I have mentioned out for the first row, that is row number 0. The first row is actually starting from index number 0. So I have taken my current as 0, and I've said my current is less than the length of the string. I will add the letter to the current and I will increase the difference. Now, what difference should I use for the first row? For the first row, I will use the difference of this, that is going down and then going up, going down and then going up. So my answer will become first this character, that is at 0, right? So my answer is currently P. Now, if I add 6 to it, I will actually land here, and you can see this is my next character, 6. So it becomes I. Then if I add 6 to the current, it will become 12. I will add n to it. You can see n is there. So I've got my first row correctly. Now moving on to the second row. So before moving on to the second row, I will encounter this line, which is actually decrementing my difference 1, which is this operator, because of the AP we discussed. So that it actually becomes 4, and incrementing my upwards operator, that is this difference, that is it becomes 2. Now when it becomes 2, I will have to start with index number this. You can see this is my index number 1. I will have to start with this. So I have assigned for I equals to 1 to k minus 2. That is for the first row. That is from this row up till this row, because last row I will deal it according to myself, right? My check becomes 0. My current becomes I. Now current becomes I here. That is current becomes 1 because this is my first row. And check becomes 0. This check is actually for alternating. Maintained for alternating. What do I mean by alternating? That is, first I will go downwards and upwards. In the second iteration, I will go upwards, then downwards, right? This is for alternating. So in the second row, you can see if my check is 0, in the first iteration, my check is 0. So I will add A to it. So I will add A to it. My current string becomes A. And then I will move by the difference of 1. My difference of 1, that is 4. So I will move to L. 1 plus 4 is 5. I will add L to it. Then I will add S to it. Why? Because I'm adding difference 2 in when my check is equals to 1. Okay. So I will add S to it. Then I will move forward, and in the end I will actually reach all of them. In the end I will actually reach all of them correctly. Right? Here is a pseudocode. You can click a snapshot, you can pause the video, anything you can do. I don't feel like discussing it all and wasting your time. Right? We can actually move on to the coding area where we will discuss the code, and you will actually be able to see that this question is fairly easy, right? I was not able to find the proper video solution on the YouTube, so I am uploading it. And before moving on to the coding section, I would request you that if you have any particular question in demand that you want to see this and you are not able to find a good solution to this, please comment down. I will surely make a video on that. So let us move on to the coding section. Let us start coding it. So I will say, instead of num rows using a creator, I will use it as k because we discussed everything in k. I'll say my first difference, that is diff1, is actually 2 star k minus 2, and my diff2 is actually 0. Moving on for the first row, that is I will say sing answer equals to this, just creating some variable for my answers. Now int n equals to s dot length. Now my cur will actually start from 0, and while my cur is less than n, that is the total length of the string, answer plus equals to s of cur. Now cur increases by the first difference because that is for difference going up, down, etc. Right? cur plus equals to diff1. Now for the second rows which contains two type of differences, I will say my diff1 is subtracted by 2 and my diff2 is incremented by 2. Now for int I going from 1, I less than equals to k minus 2, because last row also I will have to deal out my own I plus plus. What will I do? I will say first add your answer, that is answer plus equals to s of cur. Oh sorry, not answer plus equals to s of cur. Define two variables. My cur becomes my I, my starting point, and my check becomes my 0 for the alternating upwards and downwards incrementation. Right now, while cur is less than n, first of all add it to your answer. Answer plus equals to s of cur. Right, and after that, if my check is equal to 0, that means I will have to add my diff1. I will have to add my diff1. Cur plus equals to diff1 and check becomes equals to 1 for the next iteration. Else that means my check is 1. I will say cur plus equals to diff2 and check equals to 0. Right, now after the whole iteration for the row is done, I will increment and decrement my diff1 and diff2. Right, so diff1 actually decrements and diff2 actually increments. Now the job is not done yet because I will have to deal the last row as well. So I will say for the last row my cur is actually k minus 1. Now while my cur is less than n, right, answer plus equals to s of cur and answer plus equals to s of cur plus my cur actually increments by 2 star k minus 2 each time, right, and I will at last return my answer. Hope the code should run fine. Let us try to compile and run it. Let us see the test results window. Oh, there has been some error. Check equals to 0. I have not declared check. Oh, it should be int check. Right. Let us try to compile and run it again. In the meantime, guys, I would request you to please like the video, and if you're new here, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. There has been some mistake in the code. What is the mistake? Let me see. Alright guys, so I see the difference. What is the error here? So I forgot to mention the base cases. So what is my base case? So I am saying that if my number of rows is 1 or my number of rows is actually greater than equals to n, that means all the letters will be in the same row. That means if my row is number 1, that should not be a problem. If my row is number only one row, my string will actually remain same. But if my row is actually greater than equals to n, that is my number of rows are actually greater than number of characters, then also the string will remain same. Why? Suppose p a y p a l all are in the same, all are actually arranged in a singular, so it will actually fall in a diagonal only, right? And in that case I will say return s. That is the base case. Let us try to submit it now. Hope it should run fine. Sorry for the mistake, I forgot the test case at time. And you can see it has been submitted. So thank you for watching, and please do consider subscribing to my channel if you have grabbed anything from here, and please share it among your friends who are not able to solve it, and please give my channel some reach. Okay, thank you for watching and have a nice day.